Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. The channel where we are drafting up a storm, and today, potentially literally, as we are diving into the first Arena Cube draft of the season here. So for those of you that don't know exactly what Cube is, it is basically an enormous collection of some of the best cards on Arena right now. There's all kinds of fun archetypes. There's Control, there's mono-colored aggro, there's blue-white blink and red-black sacrifice, and just all kinds of super powerful cards here. You see Shieldred from the most recent set, we've got Gix, there's all kinds, Professor Onyx, Hourglass Coven, there is some alchemy cards in here. However, it is an enormously powerful format, and it's a lot of fun. There's so many fun decks to do, and usually I like to do best of 3 for this, but I think it's a better viewing experience for you all to do best of 1, because we get to see more decks from our opponents too, and that's some of the most fun part of this. I mean, I'm not really in this to just maximize my win percentage for Arena Cube. Arena Cube is all about having fun. Unless you participated in the Arena Cube Arena Open a couple days ago, in which there was thousands of dollars on the line for drafting this cube. I do not like to partake in cube that way. Maybe some of you do. But here we are, going to dive into our first Arena Cube draft of the season. And, I mean, what are some of my favorite archetypes that I'm looking to get into? Because when you're drafting cube, I mean, you can almost force archetypes a little bit. That's not exactly true. If some of like 2 or 3 people are trying to draft red-black sacrifice, then clearly you're not going to get the pieces. But if you first pick a Mayhem Devil, you can usually make a decent enough red-black sac deck work. So I like red-black. I like blue-red spells. I like blue-white blink. Those are probably some of my favorite decks. I've had fun with mono-black in the past as well, with Invoke Despair and Shieldred and Professor Onyx and cards like that. But yeah, there's going to be so many different options here, and there's really no correct pick in Cube. I mean, there's like any number of 3 or 4 different picks that you could take and be powerful with. So we'll see what we find in Pack 1 Pick 1 here once everyone queues up. There's always that one person, right? I don't usually show this part on my videos, but there's always that one person who just hangs out and then makes us reset the queue and everything. Let's see if they get in the next 18 seconds here. But we got ourselves an early Christmas present. Ah, there we go. We are in. Got ourselves an early Christmas present here with Cube, and let's see what we can find. All right, so all 3 of the meld pairs from the Brothers War are in this cube now, which is important. I mentioned I like blue-white blink, and Teleportation Circle is a super important part to that deck, and this is a super fun way to make sure blue-white blink goes. There's also Evolve Sleeper, Braids, and Meathook Massacre for probably a mono-black deck. There's Precursor Golem. I don't know why this is going off the side of the screen over there. Oh, because it's like a double card with the token and everything. Oh well. I think I'm landing on Teleportation Circle here. With the blue-white blink, you want to pick up cards that can repeatedly blink things, and this is one of those cards. If this weren't in the pack, I'd probably be taking... Scholar of the Lost Trove is also pretty good. Probably either Scholar or Sleeper or Meathook Massacre or something like that. Mono Black seems good. And so does Blue-Red Spells, like I mentioned. So I'm going to take the Circle here. And now we're looking for... I mean, we're not locked into Blue-White Blink at all, but this is one of the best cards in that deck. So we're looking for cards with ETBs. There's also Abzan Blink, if you pick up enough Fixing, which is possible. If we're thinking about Blue-White, Pilgrim's Eye is a great card to blink because it can go constantly search out cards from your deck. Obstructionist doesn't seem to have too many synergies in the cube. Elspeth's Nightmare is a very good one. Oracle is a very good one. These are not quite the lands I want to take after a teleportation circle here. Phyrexian Missionary can't really have the synergy of ET being here. So I think this is a sad Pilgrim's Eye. This pack is kind of underwhelming. I mean, there's good things like Elspeth's Nightmare, Oracle of Modiah, Rabbit Battery for mono red. These two cards, or these three cards for mono green. But I'm going to take the Pilgrim's Eye to go with the circle here. Alright, now Jin-Gitaxias. The tricky part about drafting this cube as well is that there are so many cards that are expensive and flashy and cost a lot of mana. And if you load your deck up with too many of those cards, you're just going to get run over by some of the aggro decks and some people who are playing to the board early. Like, even a 3-mana 2/1 is fine enough. But if you take, like, Jin-Gitaxias into Sublime Epiphany, into, you know, just some of the, like, the Temporal Anchor, I don't know if that's in here or not, from the new set, just a bunch of super, super expensive cards, and you can never get there, then all you have to do is play a couple of cheap creatures over here, constantly draw cards and get value. And I'm going to take the Spirited Companion, again, because Teleportation Circle works super, super well with this. Champion of Wits on the wheel would be great. Another great ETB. Bank Buster's probably fine as well, but I'm going to take Spirited Companion here. And then we take a look at the next pack. And we're not really seeing the blue-white blink targets here. What does this one do? Okay, it's one of those alchemy cards. Maze Mind Tome. Blue-white can also be a bit of a control deck. So things like Malevolent Hermit, Maze Mind Tome, potentially even Siren Storm Tamer. This is more for like mono blue tempo. So I'm probably looking at one of these two here. In fact, I think I'm going to take the Hermit. This is nice interaction. It's a 2-mana 2/1 that can blank one of their non-creature spells. It can also come back from the graveyard. So it's nice interaction and nice value there. Now there's Lagamos and Shambling Ghast. And Makeshift Munitions for the red-black sack deck, which is good. There's also Timeless Witness. And there's a bunch of lands here. This is more for mono white. This is more for blue red. So there's lots of red black. There's some blue red. There's a generically good green card here. I think I'm going to land on the Pathway. Again, it's early enough to not know what's super cut, because these packs, the collation of these packs are very strange and interesting, as far as like one pack could have 3 sacrifice cards and the next one could have 3 blank cards, the next one could have 3 spells, and it kind of goes back and forth here. And it's usually fine to kind of push through and, you know, push through and based on whatever deck you're drafting and want to draft. Now this pack, there's Soon's Intervention. 6 mana, create 2 2/2s, seek a non-land permanent with 3 or less, destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, gain 3 life. It's like white Sublime Epiphany. There's also Consider. There's Kolaghan's Command and Cruelty. Maybe we have to abandon this blue-white start here. Wow, that's a late Embercleave. This card is insane. Embercleave with Obosh. And Embercleave. Obosh can't be companioned with Embercleave. There's Behold the Multiverse, which is like fine, but doesn't work with the Blink thing. Delver of Secrets, also probably not for this deck. Embercleave has such a high, like, top end that I think I'm going to take it and see if mono red could be open. There's Welcoming Vampire here, which is good with something like Spirited Companion plus Teleportation Circle and Malevolent Hermit. I mean, this is a pretty good card already for our deck, but there's also Unholy Heat if Mono Red does end up being open. Mono Red's not a particularly, like, interesting deck, but it's a powerful one. I just don't think Blue-White Blink seems to be open right now. So Scholar Wield, Pyromancer Wield. Unbreakable Formation, yeah. So this is definitely a Blue-White Blink target for sure. It's either that or take the Pyromancer to go down mono red. I'm going to take the Pyromancer. And there's Rabbit Battery. So mono red looks to be wide open. I mean, like I mentioned, you can usually kind of push your way and force an archetype, but we took Teleportation Circle. Then we got a Pilgrim's Eye and a Spirited Companion, and there have been really no ETB creatures, really no other blink targets or blink effects in here, but there have been some really good late mono red cards. And here's a Castle Embereth. The Champion of Wits did wheel, but look at these mono red cards that are coming around. I mean, these are great. Maybe you could even splash a little bit of white for something like Lorehold Command. I would generally advise against going 2-color aggro in cube, but it's possible.
Why resist us?
And
Phyrexia offers
all right.
purpose for all.
What can we find here? If we're thinking mono red, there's Searing Blood, there's Phoenix of Ash. I think Phoenix of Ash being much better. If we're thinking Blue-White Blink, there is really not much. There is the Field of the Dead and the Golos combo, but I don't think either of our decks are going to be optimized for that. There's some really good mono green cards here. Good mono black card, very good mono black card. This is one of the reasons to be mono black in cube. But because I'm not seeing anything for blue-white, Ranger of Eos kind of is, but we don't really have those combos. I think I'm just going to take the Phoenix. Okay, so no great mono red cards here at all. Maybe Hopeful Initiate if we do splash some white or something. Gigantha's not good with Embercleave and Phoenix, so I don't think we're going to try to companion Gigantha. Sweltering Suns is like the exact opposite of what Mono Red wants to be doing. This pack is kind of just a bust for us. There's really nothing we can take. Okay, now the only red card is Faithless Looting. What's going on here? Okay, so now what about white? Adeline, Legion's Landing, and Venerated Loxodon are all pretty good. These are all very good aggressive cards here. I think I'm going to take the Loxodon. I don't think looting is what Mono Red wants. I guess I'll take the Loxodon here. We see a Lightning Axe. Seasoned Pyromancer. Or an Elspeth. There's also Fabled Passage. There's some good green cards. Maybe green was open, but we didn't really have a way to get into green based on how we started. So probably Seasoned Pyromancer here. I think Elspeth is just a little bit too expensive and mana hungry. Okay, see now there's Eidolon of the Great Revel, which is basically exactly what mono red wants, as well as Shatter Skull Smashing. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Eidolon here. And now no red cards. But there is a Yorion for blue-white blink. As well as Muldrifter. And multiple choice. And Baral's expertise. Maybe Karn? I don't know. Maybe that's playable. Rabble Rousing in blue-white? I don't know. Or in red-white? Sling Gang Commander. Siege Gang Commander, sorry. So I think Sling Gang is the black one. This is a decent little top end for mono red, which I think I want to try to be right now. Hopefully, if I can make playables for it. The Obliterating Bolt's pretty good. Star of Extinction, again, not really what mono red wants. Mutavault is also quite good. But I'm worried about making playables is the problem. Searing Blood did wheel. Alright, so it's probably the only card we have a chance of playing that I don't really want to play. So 11 playables. Can we pick up 12 playables in the last 17 packs? Probably not. Might have to go a little... Well, there's looting, maybe. Might have to play it. There's a lightning axe we could play. Alright now, come on. Okay, now there is Grim Lavamancer, Goblin Chain Whirler, Circuit Mender. I think this is going to wheel. I don't think anyone else is going to take this card, which means we can take the Grim Lavamancer here. And here's another good blue-eyed blink card. I mean, I was pretty sure red was wide open in pack 1, considering Rabbit Battery, Embercleave, Castle Embereth, all wheeled. Like, those are super, super good cards. So, what does this one do? Seems okay. The other option is Magda, and it's just a 2-mana 2/1 that gives us a treasure. When it attacks, it seems good, and we need creatures here. Ephemerate, there's a blue-white blink card. Yes, we're seeing all the blue-white cards now. Of course, after we have Jump Ship. Maybe Zerial wheels here, but we're going to take the 2-drop. I guess Devil's Play. Angel Fire Ignition is also pretty good. Maybe we could just splash white for like Lorehold Command, Angel Fire Ignition, and Loxodon or something like that. But this is pretty good. Maybe this wheels. This might wheel. Ooh, here are some red cards. Wow. Chandra, Adversary, Frenzy, and Visionary are all insane. Frenzy is just exactly what mono red wants. Right? This just has to be it. Maybe one of these 3 wheels here. Frenzy is just the card. Now we have Swift Spear with 8 triggers? It's not bad. Mono white looked to be relatively open too. The Odonto Vanguard is very good in mono white. Are we just red white? I don't think so. Ooh, here you go. So there's Strangle and Blade Historian. Mizzix's Mastery is my favorite pack one pick one in the entire cube. It's got to be Blade Historian, right? I mean, Strangle is great and all, but we have a couple of removal spells already. Blade Historian is very good. It's just 4 red for a 2/3 double strike attacking along, giving all your other attacking creatures double strike. Bomat Courier, thank you very much. It's exactly what you want in mono red. We are now at 20. Told you Chain Whirler would wheel. Could play that. Probably don't want to. I mean, there are a few white cards in here if we really need to. And maybe they're just worth it. We can go like a 10/6 mana base or something like that. Ignition did wheel, as well as Battlefield Forge. So did Visionary and Chandra. I think we're probably okay on expensive things. I'd like another 2-drop. Yeah, if we play the white, we don't need the Chandra here. Okay, so we're either mono red or we're splashing a little bit of white for some powerful white cards. So let's see here. That's not powerful enough of a white card. That either. I don't want to play looting. So I would have to cut. I'm probably thinking 16 lands. So it would be this, this, and this, which would mean we'd have to find 3 more red cards, and these are the only 2, plus a Pilgrim's Eye. Or we could just play some white and play Lorehold Command, Loxodon, how many creatures do we have? 14. It's not quite as much as I want, but it's not bad. Honestly, 11/5 seems even better here. And then the last card is going to be either... I don't really like playing a random 3-mana 1/1. It's a rabble rousing, but that is just so expensive for a relatively aggressive deck. There's like a 2-drop here. It's tough for this last card. So what is Pilgrim's Eye good with? It's good with like Ignition, it's good with Embercleave, obviously. It's fine with Blade Historian. Rabbit Battery. It has some decent enough things going on here, I guess. Okay. Well, couldn't quite get all the way there on mono red. I mean, there's so many playables and so many good cards in these cubes, or in this cube, that um, if you don't kind of settle in by mid pack one, which we didn't, we settled in like the end of pack one, then sometimes you struggle with the playables, especially if you're not the only one drafting that archetype. Which looks like we might not have been the only one drafting mono red. But we do have a turn 1 Bomat Courier, so off we go here. Oh boy. We have the mirror match. And of course they have the 1-drop. We can kill this with Devil's Play. Lets us get another card under the courier here. Obviously we need a land. Down goes courier. Okay. Well. Alright, what are we discarding here? Blade Historian? I don't know. Lands are fun to have. I know I'm going 16 lands, but... Okay. Guess this will be a quick one. Mm-hmm. I guess I'll go here. We did it! Gonna get beat in the face by a Rekindling Phoenix. Well, this is quite good on this board right now. So this is not a May, so you have to discard and draw 2. So if we play Swift Spear and then this, we have to discard Embercleave. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to get rid of these two. I'm going to make 2 1/1s, keep the Embercleave in hand. And no attacks. We can chump the Phoenix for a turn here. Our board is not set up particularly great for Embercleave right now. The Seasoned Pyromancer is the best card for it. Be a 6/6 double strike trample. Don't have enormous creatures right now. That's pretty good. This is going to be tough here, because if I kill this, and they kill that, and we're left with just a 2/2 and a 1/1, and they still have a Phoenix here. Yeah, I should have killed that now, because now we can't take... Well, it doesn't matter. We're dead next turn. It doesn't matter what we do. Missed too many land drops. They hit too many creatures in a row. So we can Devil's Play and not even kill that. So, yeah. Alright, sweet. Alright, we go first with a good hand, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. We have 3 lands this time. So that's something. What do they have? Like, Once Upon a Time? It must be that. The old banned standard card. You love getting free spells, don't you? Quit having 1-drops. It's annoying. So I guess the question now is, do I Searing Blood the Pelt Collector before it gets too big? Or just play Pilgrim's Eye? I think I'm going to kill this while I can. And I won't attack because next turn Blade Historian is coming down and I want the double strike. Okay. We're gonna pump some damage into it. Ninjutsu. Well, they are already at 11 somehow, so that's nice, but this is gonna hit us again. Just gotta hope Blade Historian survives, and we can get him with the Holy Glory Bringer. Never mind. That's a card we didn't see in the draft. Well, that'll probably put us to a quick 0-2. Okay. Sure. Alright, so I'm gonna target this. And then I gain 3 life. Yeah, this card is among the best rares ever printed in a limited set. And it's very good in cube too. Forgot Searing Blood was an instant. Seems like a sorcery kind of effect. Yep. Yep. gotta be the Glory Bringer, right? I mean, Halana and Elena's gonna kill us too, but... So, if they attack here, we can chump with Pilgrim's Eye, then we can Unholy Heat down the Halana and Elena, and then lose to Krenko. It's like every threat that everyone plays is just like, I'll lose to that. No, I'll lose to that. Whereas we're over here like, eat my 1/1. Oh, and it has haste. Oh god. Alright, well. Yep. Just get rid of our whole board. Ha! Eat my 2/1. I mean, I don't have anything here, so yeah, let's hope our deck can win a game. Okay, this seems like a better hand here. Let's hope our opponent doesn't have a 1-drop. Alright, you get 1 hello. Kill their Gala Greeters. Nice little 2-for-1, we'll take it. Ah, land would have been outstanding there. So I'm going to try to guarantee a land for next turn. Not going to trade off the Eidolon. Probably a little too slow. Alright, is Lorehold Command or Blade Historian better? +1/+0 and indestructible, and I can also deal 3 to their face. So they're effectively at 7, and effectively at 5 if they don't block. I mean, Lorehold Command can be very good next turn too, so I'm just going to play Blade Historian here. And now we could Lightning Axe down one of these creatures when they double block the Eidolon. Discarding the Phoenix. Now they go to 2, they're dead to the Pilgrim's Eye. Whether they kill Blade Historian or not. If they cast anything. Yep, that should... Oh, they gain life too. Alright, well that should also do it. Cool. We managed to win. This is what, you know, mono red decks are supposed to do. Actually draw your cards in the right order and kill your opponent. Novel idea. Alright, Eidolon on 2 again. So we'll keep this. Well, we're gonna play this and hope they don't kill it. I think I'm just gonna Searing Blood this now while I can. I know it's not the most mana efficient thing, but I don't want them getting a bunch of 1/1 chump blockers. So next turn we could go Pilgrim's Eye, get a red, play Swift Spear, take 4 damage from it. Or just win. They might have missed a land drop there. Okay, yeah, quick games here. Okay, so here's a hand I don't think we can keep. We're like not doing anything until 3, and even then it's not great. So I'm gonna mulligan this and see 2 of the exact same cards. I get rid of the axe here. I mean, it's a bad hand, but I don't want to go to 5, so... I'm going to play the Phoenix over the Pyromancer. Could potentially save this card to discard like Ignition plus something else, because this has Flashback. Could have discarded the Phoenix, but it wouldn't be coming back for a while. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I think I probably need to bolt that here. Now next turn we can Pyromancer and discard Ignition. Get an extra 1/1, still be able to cast this card. Unless we draw like Embercleave or something, then we can't really do that. But if we draw a land, that's probably my play. Okay, so they get a Plains, and then next chapter they make an 0/4 and then gain 2. Alright, that worked out. That did not work out. Oh. Another board wipe? No, Lion's Sash, okay. You can exile both of these cards now. They can exile one of them, because they only have one white mana. Okay, I'll get rid of the Phoenix. Which means we have to use Angel Fire Ignition this turn. Or we lose it. What does this do? Just an ETB. We can cast that next turn, so nothing we do now really matters on that front. This opens up attacks for everything. I mean, I figured they would do that. But if they just play this and drop that, I'm not really sure how we get through for 11 more points of damage. Aggressive decks are not really my favorite deck in the format so much. I'm not like super great at playing them or drafting them, clearly. I like the big flashy powerful stuff, but I don't know. When I saw Embercleave as late as I did, that's a card that would let me go into an aggressive deck pretty well. Not that we've ever gotten the chance to play it in these games, because why would we ever get that lucky? But yeah, I mean, it's a card that can like get us out of this if they didn't play that. But if they did play that, we could still get through it with an Embercleave. But now I think we're just about done. More than likely here. Three tap, so we can't cast, so... Okay. So I can save this. What they're going to do is they're going to destroy it and then immediately exile it. But we can respond to that by exiling it. Although they could do it again, so no, we can't. They have 2 white mana up. Dang. Well, yeah, if we were to exile that, they would just exile it in response, so we can't. And if we were also to do this now, they could also still exile in response, so we can't do anything about it. Our Unholy Heat will never have Delirium because of this Lion Sash. Now they have an Elspeth, and it looks like we're probably about done with this draft here.
I know there's a hero inside you.
Yeah, I mean, they still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 permanents they can use with this, and we have no way to get rid of it. So I'm just going to save our time here and call it a game. Well, can't say that was the most fun of cube drafts, but hopefully the rest of this week will be. I'm done drafting aggro for the week, so if you're here to see aggro, you're in the wrong spot for the rest of this week. But yeah, I mean, I thought the deck was powerful enough. We just didn't really have enough of the good mono red 1 and 2 drops and Rekindling Phoenixes and things. We had Blade Historian, Frenzy we never saw, Embercleave we never saw. So just like basically the 2 best cards in our deck we never even got to see or play. So it happens. But yeah, stick around for some more cube this week. Thanks so much for sticking around at the end of this video, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.